Hey everyone, welcome back to Daily Tuition. In this tutorial, we will learn what is JSON. We will understand what is the use of JSON and where you can use it. So let's get started. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. Basically, JSON is a syntax for storing and exchanging data. JSON is mostly used for structuring data in readable format. It is used primarily to transmit a data between server and web application. We can convert any JSON data to JavaScript object and send to the server, and convert JavaScript object into JSON and transmit it to the web server. JSON object look like this, right? So the JSON object is identical to the JavaScript object. JSON object has pairs of key and values separated by commas, and the key is a string represented in the double quote. In JSON object, keys must be a valid string and values can be any data type. You will likely see the JSON object in .json file, but they can also exist as a JSON object or a string within a context of a program. Let's consider the following example. Suppose if you receive data from the server in JSON format, and if you wanted to access this data, you need to convert the JSON object into JavaScript object. Let's see how it's work. So I will just create a JSON data here. So I have main.js file here. In this file, I will create JSON data. So I will just say let my JSON is equal to, and in the single quote, I will create an object here. So I will just say curly braces and just specify key and value pair here. So I will just say double quote here and specify key name, specify colon and specify value of that key. So I will just say John Parker here in the double quote, right? Just after that, specify comma here to specify second data, and then say key age in the double quote colon 21. 21 is a number, that is why we are not specifying double quote for this value. Just after that, specify comma here and specify key, city and value USA, right? Now let's suppose this data as a mimic of server response, right? Just after that, I will create an object here. So I will say constant obj is equal to, and when you wanted to pass the JSON data to the object, you need to convert this data into object. So we have pass method to convert this data. Using the JSON object, we will use pass method and convert this data and store in the object. So I will just say JSON dot pass, and in the parenthesis I will specify JSON data here. So I will say my JSON here. So this will convert the JSON data to the object, right? Now what if you wanted to print your message on the document? In this situation, we have document.write method. If you wanted to print any text or any data on the document, we have document.write method. Using this method, you can display your data on the document. So I will just say document.write, and here I will say obj.name. So when you execute this, you will get your name on the document. So this method will print data as a text and display on the document, right? Now let's understand how to use JSON for storing a data. In the previous video, we had learned what is local storage is all about. Using the local storage, you can store your data in the client browser. If you wanted to learn more about local storage, then you can watch this tutorial from the top right corner of the screen. Now, using local storage, we will insert JSON data in the client browser and access this data and print on the document. So let's consider the following example. So I will just convert this JSON object into JavaScript object. So I will just remove this single quote and just make this JSON object to JavaScript object, right? Now if you wanted to convert the JavaScript object into JSON object, we have stringify method. Using this method, you can convert object into JSON data like this. So I will just say my JSON here is equal to JSON.stringify method and specify object here, right? So this statement will convert the object into JSON data and store in the my.json variable. Let's see how it's look. So I will just say console.log and specify my.json here, right? So this is your object converted into JSON data. Just after that, I will call local storage object and call the setItem method. Using this method, we are going to store JSON data into client browser. So in the first parameter, I will specify key JSON test, and just after that, in the values, I will say my JSON, right? Now our data is stored in the client browser. To see where your data is stored, right click on your browser, go to inspect and select application from this tab, right? Here you can see your local storage. So here is your data is stored, right? Now we wanted to retrieve this data and print on the document. So I will just create a variable here. So I will say text is equal to local storage dot get item. Using get item method, you can access local storage data, right? So I will say get item and in the parentheses specify your key. So I will just say test JSON, right? Just after that, I will just create an object here and pass this JSON data to the object using pass method. So I will just say json.pass and specify JSON data here. So I will just say text here. So this data is converted into object. Now you can access this data and print on the document. So I will just say document.write and in the parentheses, I will just say obj.name and execute this. So you will get your name on the document. You can access any value of your JSON data using the property name. So I will just change the name to age and execute again. So this is your JSON data. You can access your any JSON data, right? That's it. I hope you understand what is JSON object. If you have any question, you can ask me in the comment. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Click on the bell icon and don't forget to like this video. That is all for now. We will see you in the next tutorial.